net.
Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KDA-BYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2398 with a release date of Friday, October 13th, 2023 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Israeli hams work to locate the missing. Flood-stranded students in India find a way out through ham radio. And a volcano is active, but not with lava or ash. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2398 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, here is Skeeter Nash, N5ASH.
We open with a special report about how Amateur Radio is helping families locate those who have gone missing amid the Israel-Hamas conflict. Kevin Trotman, N5PRE, tells us about their efforts.
We begin this week's report with a developing story in the Middle East, the ongoing conflict between the Gaza-based militant group Hamas and Israel that began on Saturday, October 7th, with an attack by Hamas that killed at least 900 people. As Israel responded to the Hamas rocket launches with airstrikes of their own, there have been ongoing media reports of Israelis, Israeli Americans, and others being shot, kidnapped, and taken hostage. The Israeli Amateur Radio Club has been working to address the world's concern for the well-being of friends and family members who they have been unable to contact. The president of the club, David Ben Bassat, 4X1WH, told Newsline that the hams have established an emergency network that includes the use of the WhatsApp smartphone app to enable people to reach out to amateurs in Israel to locate lost friends and family amid the conflict. David said that amateurs wishing assistance can email him directly at davidbbb@gmail.com. His email address also appears in the text version of this week's news report at arnewsline.org. This is Kevin Trotman, N5PRE.
In India, young students and their guides who were stranded by massive flooding in the northeast region were able to return safely after amateur radio operators stepped in. John Williams, VK4JJW, shares their journey.
Torrential rain caused a glacial lake to burst through a dam in the Himalayan region of northeastern India on the 5th of October, and the death toll continued to rise as the icy floodwaters left hundreds stranded and missing. Some of the more fortunate among those stranded were guided to safety or driven there by amateur radio operators. Those stranded included 140 Bharat scouts and guides who travelled from 5 schools for camping in West Sikkim. According to a report in the Times of India, the students and those accompanying them were rescued with the assistance of amateur radio operators after the hams provided vehicles and created a network to guide those vehicles to safety over the challenging terrain. The students, who were between the ages of 10 and 15, were preparing to depart the camp in Sikkim, where they were staying since October the 1st, when their leader realized the route to the scouts' return home by bus was going to be impassable. The scout leader reached out to the West Bengal Radio Club. Club secretary Ambarish Nag Biswas, VU2JFA, told the Times of India that the club was able to round up 15 or 16 vehicles to be deployed for transport along the treacherous roads, which would be set by mudslides and loose boulders. The Ham Club also provided navigation assistance to 12 tourists from Gujarat who'd gone to Sikkim for a holiday. One of the tourists told the Print of India that his longtime friend, Sumit Ghosh, VU3IAZ, is a member of that club, and when he reached him by phone, he'd been monitoring weather conditions. The radio amateur provided the tourist driver with a safer route through lesser-known roads so they could successfully reach Darjeeling. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
Congratulations to this year's Volunteer of the Year, who was honored by the Radio Society of Great Britain at the National Radio Center. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us about him.
Trevor Hughes, G4WKJ, has accrued more than one claim to fame during his many years as a volunteer at the National Radio Center at Bletchley Park. He has donated his time on a weekly basis since the center's opening day in 2012, and he is the creator of the Snail Morse Key, a simpler popular kit used by the RSGB to introduce children to Morse code. On Friday the 6th of October, RSGB General Manager Steve Thomas, M1ACB, honored Trevor for donating his many hours of time and expertise, as well as for his design and the introduction of the widely used Morse code kit. Martin Baker, G0GMB, the center's coordinator, said the immense amount of time Trevor has donated to the center has helped to ensure its success today. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
There's a new free newsletter in circulation serving amateurs who participate in various nets and pass emergency traffic. The publication was released on October 3rd by the ARRL. Here's Jack Parker, W8ISH, with the details.
The NTS letter is a monthly digest keeping hams up to date on the ARRL's National Traffic System, a landscape that its editor, Marcia Ford at KW1U, knows very well. Marcia is section manager for the ARRL's Eastern and Western Massachusetts and Rhode Island sections, and is a longtime handler of traffic. The NTS involves both new and experienced hams in emergency communications and allows newcomers to receive training in the skills of sending and receiving vital messages. This training can then be put to use in real emergencies when amateur radio can provide life-saving links to emergency personnel and agency partners. The system encompasses voice and CW traffic as well as messages sent via the digital modes. ARRL members can receive the NTS letter free by visiting the link at arrl.org/opt-in-out. You must be logged in as a member on the ARRL website to complete the subscription process. The newsletter made its debut only days before the ARRL's annual simulated emergency test took place throughout the country on October 7th and 8th. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
Horrors. In some parts of the world, it's that time of year again. The special pre-Halloween event, known as the Zombie Shuffle, is back from the dead. Here with the gruesome details is Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
Are you one of those awkward CW operators whose fist is a real horror show? You'll fit in just fine on October 27th with the annual CW QRP event known as the Zombie Shuffle. For the past 26 years, the organizers have been promoting this event, reassuring even the most out-of-practice CW ops that you don't have to operate until it kills you. Even a handful of well-placed contacts with other QRP operators will be sure to lift your spirits. There's an established exchange, and it helps to have a zombie number assigned to you since, well, it's part of the exchange. See the website in the text version of this week's Newsline for more details on how to apply for one. You're also encouraged to select a zombie name for yourself to use on the air. And like all good zombie-related activities, this event springs to life quite suddenly in the afternoon. Zombies begin shuffling on the bands at 1500 local time across all time zones. Then, when the clock strikes midnight, it's all over. So don't be haunted by your own regrets at sitting this one out. This was Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the Lookout Mountain Amateur Radio Community's N4LMC repeater and digital systems in Georgia on Fridays at 7:30 p.m. local time. Hams in Colorado took a trip back in time to mark a big anniversary for a local scenic route. We hear more about this from Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
It only takes a few hours to travel by car along Colorado's peak-to-peak scenic byway that runs from Interstate 70 in the south to Estes Park in the north. At this time of the year, it delivers spectacular autumn foliage. On the 30th of September, 7 groups of radio amateurs traveled that distance and beyond for 8 hours by being on the air. The Longmont Amateur Radio Club was among those marking the 105th anniversary of the highway, which has been presenting spectacular mountain views since it was built in 1918. Chuck K0ITP, president of the Longmont Club, said 7 clubs sent operators, including the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club, the Mile High DX Association, and the Indian Peaks Radio Club. A look at the log reveals 604 non-duplicate contacts, and even with some of the same contacts being made on different bands, there were still 572 distinct call signs in the logbook, most of them made on single sideband. The scenic byway clearly delivered its celebrated fall colors well beyond the boundaries of Colorado. Chuck told Newsline that in addition to making contacts in 46 states, operators logged calls from Austria, Canada, Mexico, Chile, Spain, Venezuela, and Argentina. One of the stations was in a national forest, and contacts there also scored some POTA points. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
There have been some changes to the criteria by which teams will be chosen for the next World Radio Sport Team Championship. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us what they are.
The World Radio Sport Team Championship competition to be held in England in 2026 has announced some changes being made to the selection criteria, which the organising committee believes will make the qualification process fairer. The announcement by event Vice Chairman Lee Volante, G0MTN, writing in the WRTC 2026 groups.io email list, comes as the first of several qualifying events takes place this month. 2 new subgroups will be created in the qualification area, comprising Scandinavia and the Baltic countries. This will allow contestants to compete more directly against other local operators for qualification points. Competitors in the United States call areas 1, 2, 3, and 7 are also seeing changes which the committee believes will better accommodate propagation differences in the region. For qualification scoring among Western U.S. operators, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona will now be grouped into one sub-area, with Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming into another. The northeastern U.S. call areas will be grouped into 3 sub-areas for scoring purposes. The states of Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island will be in one subgroup. New York, New Jersey, and the United Nations call 4U1UN will be in a second subgroup, and the third group will comprise Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. There will also be more sub-areas for Alaska and Canada. Lee explains why requests for some new subgroups were denied, writing, quote, "If there are too few contestants within a sub-region, then it becomes unfairly easier for entrants to score maximum qualification points in contests. This would put the integrity of the qualification process at risk," end quote. 15 qualifying events are taking place between October 2023 and March 2025. Competitors can submit scores from as many as 8 qualifying events. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
The Swains Island W8S team got on the air after a slight delay to its start. And yes, they want to work you. The operators got on the air on the 7th of October, posting a short note on their website that read, "Good hunting." The team is operating on CW, SSB, RTTY, and FT8. For the first time, Swains Island has EME capabilities with a dedicated station for 6 meters. Many of the earliest reports were on 12 meters and 30 meters CW, as well as 30 meters and 20 meters FT8. The hams are working in rotating shifts around the clock and began with 4 stations on the air at all hours. They said on their website, quote, "We're doing our best to work as many as possible of you," end quote. The D-Expedition was scheduled to end on the 17th of October. The rare DX is IOTA number OC200 and has the Parks on the Air designation of K9754. Elsewhere in the world of DX, listen for Helmut DF7EE operating as CT9/DF7EE from Madeira, IOTA number AF014. You can hear Helmut from the 22nd to the 31st of October and during the CQ Worldwide DX SSB contest, where he will be operating as CQ3W. Outside the contest, listen for him on 60, 30, 17, and 12 meters, where he will be using SSB and FT8. See QRZ.com for QSL details on both call signs. For our final story, we visit an active volcano. Active with the sound of hams calling CQ, that is. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, takes us on that long hike up the mountain.
The notorious Mount St. Helens volcano in Washington State was active last month in a way no geologist could predict. 6 hikers, 3 of them SOTA activators, were not concerned about the likelihood of lava and ash spewing up from below. They were more interested in the radio contacts from above. At an altitude of more than 8,000 feet at the summit, a height reached after 3 hours of strenuous hiking, they called CQ. When the contacts came, it was not as a volcanic eruption, but at a steady amateur radio friendly pace. With each first contact to the summit worth 10 SOTA points to chasers, Tim, N7KOM, Tyler, ND7Y, and Andrew, N7LFO, got busy, using a pair of hiking poles as 2 legs of a makeshift tripod that included the mast for the wire antenna. It was a busy afternoon. Tim told Newsline that, by the end of the activation, he had logged 20 QSOs on 2 meters FM, 6 QSOs on 40 meter SSB, 1 QSO on 30 meters CW, and 10 QSOs on 20 meters CW. The path of ash, sand, and rocks leading up to this popular SOTA summit had led to a smooth afternoon of operating. A portion of that afternoon can be seen in the hams YouTube video on the N7KOM Mountaintop Portable Radio channel. People on the U.S. West Coast may still remember the deadly eruption from the volcanic peak in the Cascade Mountains in 1980, one of the deadliest of its kind in North America. But these 3 hams and any other activators with their sights set on SOTA number W7W/LC-001 are grateful the mountain continues its long slumber. For now. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, CQ Magazine, Chuck Pock, K0ITP, CNN, David Behar, K7DB, David Ben Bassat, 4X1WH, 425DX News, Radio Society of Great Britain, shortwaveradio.de, The Statesman, Swains Island D-Expedition website, Tim Sherry, N7KOM, The Times of India, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Skeeter Nash, N5ASH in Shelbyville, Tennessee, saying 7-3. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2023, all rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 10 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater. Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John and my call is WO3X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by amateur radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only 5 at a time, and confirming each call. Then I'll correspond with those 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until we're done. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been corresponded with, I will close the net after repeating the announcements. I'll give one last call for check-ins after the last announcements. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. Okay, I turned off the amplifier because we don't need that much power for the going into this repeater. Okay, let's see here. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. This evening, the band exploration net will be on 40 meters and it'll be phone, upper or lower sideband on or about 7.187 megahertz. But usually there's some QRM on that frequency, so we look around for a frequency and then announce it real close to 9:30 on this repeater. We announce the frequency on this repeater. Okay, so here are the announcements. The next meeting will be on October 25th, and that will be a presentation by K1RF, that's K1 radio frequency, and the presentation will be about end-fed antennas. It will be on Zoom, and we will also see it in person. In person, we will be at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, 130 Broad Boulevard in Cuyahoga Falls. Get to the parking lot entrance, which is on 2nd Street south of Broad Boulevard. The presenter at our Christmas dinner extravaganza on December 6th will be Professor Grubbs, who gave a very interesting presentation a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, at the Stowe Monroe Falls Library one evening. So he will be presenting us a similar presentation on our December 6th Christmas dinner. That's all that I have in the way of those kind of announcements, but I have an announcement that one of our members is now a silent key. And before we start taking check-ins, we will do a tribute to the silent key. And we will start that now. AB8OU, AB8OU, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. AB8OU, AB8OU, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. AB8OU, AB8OU, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Okay, that ends the tribute to the silent key, Zeke, AB8OU. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, now asking for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club.
KD8VYT.
KD8VYT, go ahead, Russ.
I just wanted to announce that Justine Piles and N8WHJ, I think that's her call, she has 50 feet of tower laying in her backyard she wants to get rid of. All you have to do is go pick it up. And condition unknown, it's been laying out in the backyard for a few years. And so you're on your own. If excuse me, if you need information on that, you can contact me. My phone number is 330-524-9175, and I can give you the details. Justine Piles has about 50 feet of tower, condition unknown. But you can check it out if you want the address. Just call me, and I'll let her know you're coming. That's all I got. KD8VYT.
Okay, Russ, thanks. I will repeat that at the end of the net in the announcements. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for any other officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Okay, well, along those lines of a tower, I have for sale for $300 a Cushcraft X7 Yagi, which is, it does 20, 15, and 10 meters, and I have it advertised in the Ohio Section Journal. So just look for that. It has, that article has the gain at the different bands. It's an 18-foot boom, and it comes with a new ballon and the ballon mounting plate and clamp. So let's see, you can send me an email message at wo3x@hotmail.com if you're interested in that. Again, it's a Cushcraft X7 Yagi. Okay, are there any other announcements from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club?
It's WBYYS, Greg and Kent. Evening, John.
Go ahead, Greg, with your announcement.
everybody on the net there this evening. I'm kind of doing double duty here on the high DMR net, but I got a little bit of a break there. Just a couple of things nostalgic-wise here. I was cleaning out some stuff the other day, and I came across an old version of the QST back when it was the smaller version, and it was dated back in 1973, and that was the first year that I was licensed. And you look through it, amateur radio at the time was pretty slim pickings. You had to pretty much want to be a ham radio operator because there wasn't a lot of opportunity out there as far as privileges and modes, and especially radios. There weren't a lot of them out there, and 2 meters was just starting to come into existence. Fast forward ahead 50-some odd years, and you take a look at our stats of radios out there now. There are all kinds of license privileges, all kinds of modes you can use, all kinds of goodies and add-ons and stuff like that, and the technology has caught up with our hobby. And truly, this is a good time to be in the hobby that we're in right now, if you sit back and you think about it. And I think we can honestly say that our hobby has something in it for just about everybody. And I would encourage somebody to, or anybody, take a look at something, take a pick, and bring it to the club. And I'm sure we have enough people there that can probably help you put it together and realize what you want to do. So, looking forward to seeing everybody at the meeting next Wednesday. And I understand it will start promptly at 7:30 because of time restraints on the presenter. So, everybody have a really good week. Stay dry, stay warm. I know it sounds like work, but give it your best shot. And like I always say, one last time, a final 73 to AB8OU. It's back to you, John. It's WB8YYS.
Thanks, Greg, for that announcement. Yeah, very good. Yeah, there's many modes that we can operate on, and it makes it very interesting. Okay, are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club? Please call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Okay, not hearing any. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic, asking for check-ins. Let me know if you are in or in and out.
November 8, Alpha Charlie Papa, N8 ACP, I'll be in.
November 8, November Hotel, Mark and Akron, in and out.
Whiskey 8, Echo Zulu Tango, I'm in.
YTG, in and out.
KPU, I'll go in and out tonight, John.
WTK, in.
Romeo, Keith in Uniontown, I'm in.
Kilo Echo 8, Whiskey Golf Delta, in and out.
YAX. And that's standby. Let's see who we have here. Okay, so we have Chris, N8 ACP. Then we have N8NH, in and out. We have W8EZT, KE8YTG, in and out. K8PU Larry, in and out. KA8WTK. Let's see. KE8TQR. I guess that's the right prefix. In. WGD is in, and KD8YAX is in. Okay, we have enough there, so we'll go up to the top here. Chris, N8ACP, what's going on over there?
evening, John. Thanks for running the net. And good evening from the top of Cadillac Hill, new QTH here. We're just running a copper J pole that Russ made for me. And now I'm going to blueprint this sucker, Russ, so I'll probably put it up on the website if that's okay with you. We can talk about that later, I guess. Maybe talk about that tower, too. But anyways, things are going good. I lost a little elevation here from the old QTH, but we're doing okay. I'm very sorry to hear about Zeke, and my thoughts are with his family and friends for sure. And I'm sure wherever he's at, he is still not answering trivia questions. So, 73 there, Zeke. I'll be one done tonight, John, and maybe I'll catch you guys on 40. I don't know. I got a Delta loop up in the window. We'll see what happens. W8VPV from November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa.
Okay, Chris, is that the Cadillac Hill that let's see, if you come out of that cemetery and head, I guess you head north on that street, and then it comes to an electrical, automotive electrical repair place, and then there's a guardrail, and then if you make a sharp left, there's a steep brick street. Are you up at the top of that? Is that the Cadillac Hill you're talking about?
That is the correct hill, John. It's Bates Road, I believe, or Bates Street. I'm actually on Oak Park Drive, which is on higher than that, way up on top of Glendale Cemetery Hill. Over.
Okay, very good. Well, I have a good idea of where you are located. So, okay, thanks for checking in. 23, have a good evening, and maybe we'll hear you on 40 meters. We will be announcing the actual frequency on this repeater when it gets close to the time for that net to start. So, 7-3, and maybe we'll hear you later. Okay, let's see who's next on the list here. Next is Frank, W8EZT. Go ahead, Frank, with your comments.
Well, good evening, everybody, from New Franklin. Down here with my sister tonight, with two sisters, actually, just socializing and catching up. I, like everybody else, was absolutely shocked to hear of passing of Zeke, AB8OU. Didn't know him super well, but he was a wonderful guy. We would occasionally do lunch together. And as a matter of fact, I saw him the day that he passed away at our lunch, and it just, well, my prayers are with him and his family and friends, and Chris or whoever the other commenter was about him not answering trivia questions made me chuckle. So, with that, I don't have anything else. Apparently, the 440 side is down. I have some contact cleaner with me in my truck, and I will get up to that repeater site the next day or so and drown that rheostat potentiometer in contact cleaner. If that doesn't do it, I'll go ahead and get a replacement and put it in there. That's all I've got tonight. We'll hand it back to you, John. W8EZT, back to net.
That potentiometer, is that for receiving the codes for actions?
No, that's the deviation potentiometer. I flipped over to the 440 side just to see what it sounded like down here. I was getting full carrier, full RF signal, but it was very distorted and very, very quiet again down here. So it's the same problem that I cleared up a week or two ago, and clearly just wiggling the potentiometer didn't help. I'm going to go ahead and squirt it down with contact cleaner this time.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd have to go up there and jiggle that thing back and forth every couple of days. Okay, very good. And so where you are now is probably where you will be while your new house is being built, right?
That is correct. Right now I'm using the radio in my truck. Matter of fact, I want to get a real quick signal report in a second here. But before that, I'm going to put up some antennas down here for my sister, and I certainly will too. Right now I'm on my traditional truck antenna. I'd like to switch over 1 second and try Dr. Jack, what's his face's compact antenna. So stand by. Back.
Okay, all that we got was one last syllable there. Otherwise, it like makes the repeater come up, but the signal's too weak to break the squelch.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know then. Appreciate it very much. I've got my larger 2-meter 440 antenna with a loading coil on it. That seems to be working. Well, I'll hand it back to you if we get some more check-ins, and we'll talk to you later. WAVCT, back to that.
Okay, Frank, very good. Yeah, that was a good test. Okay, great. Let's see. So YTG was in and out. Larry, K8PU was in and out. So next is, let's see, oh yeah, KA8WTK. Go ahead, Bill, with your comments.
W8VPV, KA8WTK. Good evening, John, and everybody on the net. Had a wet weekend camping. It was the haunted hayride in Stowe, and we set up in one of the campsites out there and set up a little Halloween display every year, and people ride through on hay wagons and everything. It was kind of wet, but everybody had a good time anyway. Lots of people on the hay wagons, lots of good fun. Had a great weekend. Very sorry to hear about Zeke. It was always a pleasure to hear what he's been up to on the nets. Back to net control, W8VPV, K8WTK.
Okay, very good, Bill. Yeah, that Zeke is the one that encouraged me to log in contests to move up from the 19th century to the 21st century. So up until the time he encouraged me, I was using paper and pencil, which was 19th century technology. So now I use N1MM. I had a little problem last month or so, or maybe it was 2 months ago, but that was apparently with one of the versions. And I was able to overcome the problem by finding a recovery file that they keep, that N1MM keeps. So ever since then, though, I've been using N1MM, and it works pretty good for me. Okay, thanks, Bill. And maybe we'll hear you on the band exploration net on 40 meters this evening. Okay, let's see who's next on the list here. Next was Keith, KE8TQR. Go ahead, Keith, with your comments.
W8VPV, KE8TQR. Good evening tonight, John. Thanks for taking my check-in. And good evening to everyone else on the net. Good to hear everybody. I did get a couple emails the last couple of days about the passing of Zeke. I had never talked to him on the radio or heard him, but I know there are those on here tonight that have, and you have my sincerest condolences for the passing of your friend. It's always sad to hear. Today I played out in the garage. I'm looking to put the second section of tower up I got to put some paint on it, hopefully Wednesday, because it's supposed to be a little warmer and a little drier, so the paint will go on a little bit better. And I want to get that up before the snow flies. Was going to do some grounding, but it's wet the last couple of days. The ground rods are there. Getting down in the mud and putting wires just wasn't something I was interested in doing. So I'm going to wait for a little bit drier day. Might be a little chillier, but it'll be drier. Other than that, that's about all I got. Good to hear everybody again tonight. Hope everybody has a great evening, great rest of your week. And I'll send this back to you, John, at Net Control. KE8TQR 73, everyone.
Yeah, very good, Keith. Chilly is better because chilly air holds less moisture, and so like if you do it in the summertime, there's and say you seal up a connection or whatever, and any air in there when it gets cold will have liquid in it because cold air can't hold as much moisture as hot air can. So when it's chilly, that's a good time to work on that kind of stuff. Okay, thanks for checking in, and 73, have a good evening. Okay, next is Greg, KE8WGD. Let's see, were you in and out? If you're in and out, then I guess you won't come back. Okay, I guess Greg was in and out. Okay, next was Forrest, and KD8YAX. Are you in and out this evening, Forrest? Go ahead.
I'm sorry to hear about Zeke, and I'm wondering if Frank is going to be able to take me to the meeting, or I'm going to have to miss the meeting.
Well, the meeting's not till next week, Forrest.
It's not changed my curiosity.
He can let you know a week from today if he'll be picking you up. That'll be on October 25th, and that will be the presentation by K1RF, which may be a vanity call. Okay, any other comments there, Forrest?
Nope, that was it. I'm just sorry to hear about Zeke.
Okay, thanks for checking in, and maybe we'll hear you later on 40 meters, and I will be announcing the frequency that we're at on this repeater close to the start of the net, which is at 9:30. So sometimes it's quiet at 7.187, and sometimes it's not. So maybe we'll hear you there. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the list. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic asking for check-ins. That signal didn't make it into the repeater. Well, I can tell that there's somebody there, but I can't make out what's being said. Okay, maybe raise your power or something, or get it in a better spot higher up. Okay, so I'm asking for other check-ins.
KE8YIR, Mark in Hudson.
KE8YIR, I have you. We'll get back with you in a moment. Another check-in, please.
November 8th, Bravo Alpha Yankee, Ralph and Stowe, in and out.
N8BAY, I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, Ralph, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
88ICR.
Repeat that again.
Delta 8, India Charlie Romeo.
Okay, I have you. KD8ICR. Another check-in, please. Okay, we'll go with this. Let's see. So first was Mark, KE8YIR in Hudson. Go ahead with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Well, good evening, John, and everyone on the net. I want to just say a big thank you to Frank, W8EZT. I just set up a new little transceiver rig, and I've got a J-pole in the basement, and I can't believe I'm hitting the repeater without any problem. And Frank helped me out and giving me some signal reports, and I'm on the air with this little tiny thing, and it's kind of amazing to me. Short of that, spent a long weekend making wine. Got 50 gallons in a barrel, and looking forward to that. Back to net, KE8YIR.
Okay, Mark, thanks for checking in. 73, and have a good evening. Okay, next was N8BAY, Ralph, he was in and out. And then we had KD8ICR. Is that the right call? This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Yes, that's the right call. David here. Don Delta Oscar November.
Okay, Dawn, what's going on there? Let's see, are you in Aurora?
Sam, just wanted to say 73 to you and for checking in. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, Kilo Delta 8, and Charlie Romeo.
Okay, very good, Dawn. 73, have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic asking for check-ins.
KE8ULA, Leo in and out.
Okay, Leo, we have you in and out. Thanks for checking in. 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic asking for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any at this time. I will repeat the announcements, and then I'll give one last call for check-ins. Okay, so first off, we have a tower available, a 50-foot tower, and Justine Piles has it. She is N8WHJ, but to get information about that item, contact Russ, KD8VYT, at 330-524-9175, and he can tell you where it is, and then you can get further information about it. Now, along that line of items available, I myself, WO3X, have for sale a Cushcraft X7, that's X-Ray 7, Yagi antenna. Now, it is a 3-band, that's 20, 15, and 10 meters, and it has a what's called a log periodic cell in it, which enables it to have higher gain, even though it's not really much bigger than a ordinary 3-element beam. If anybody's interested in that, it has a new balun and a new balun plate and balun mounting clamp. Just send an email to wo3x@hotmail.com. Okay, let's see, what other announcements do we have here? Okay, next week will be our activity meeting, and the presentation will be on Zoom by K1RF, and it will be about end-fed antennas. And so, in person, we meet at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ in Cuyahoga Falls, and that's on 130 Broad Boulevard. You get to the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street, south of Broad Boulevard. And again, that presentation will start at 7:30, so arrive a little bit early so that we can be all set up, ready to go right at 7:30. Okay, that's all that I have in the way of announcements at this time. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic, asking for check-ins. Last call for check-ins.
K8HMS.
K8HMS. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, hi, John. Hi, everybody. On the 440 side here. Yeah, just wanted to say hello. Kind of got in late. I was out and about tonight, so glad the net's still going. But other than that, not a lot going on. Just watching the rain. I did make contact a couple times with that D-Expedition in Swains Island, so I was kind of glad to hear about that. And other than that, worked the firefighters special event station, so that's my radio operating. Thanks for running the net, and I don't know where the 930 is. Maybe you can tell me. WAVPV KHMS.
Okay, Steve. Yeah, very good. Yeah, and while you were talking, I turned on my handheld to listen to the audio out of the 440 band repeater, and what I heard was it was all that it was transmitting was like the peaks in the audio, but you came through, you know, since they're linked, you came through very good into the 2-meter repeater. Let's see, the band exploration net tonight is on 7.187 megahertz. But a lot of times there's that frequency is in use, so we usually move up in frequency a little bit, and it's single sideband on lower sideband, and we announce the actual frequency on this repeater shortly before that net starts. So again, that's around, it's on 40 meters, and it will be around 7.187 megahertz. Over.
Okay. Yep. Very good, John. I will try to get in on the 40 meter side, and yeah, glad the repeaters are linked here, because 440 works better for me down here. So, okie dokie. Thanks much. I'll let you see if you can get some other guys. KHMS.
Okay, Steve, very good. 73, thanks for checking in, and we hope to hear you on 40 meters. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call's WO3X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 17 check-ins, counting myself, and return the repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:13 p.m. local time, 7/3.
W8VPV. Repeater PL110.9.
Zero, Mike, India, Kilo.
Your frequency a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You're out in clear treetop pole.
Delta Yankee Who, WB3, DYV. Calling CQ, CQ, CQ point. WB3, DYV, calling CQ, CQ, standby.
Three long ones. I'm waiting on some shorties. But I'm changing one right now for my Alpha.
Romeo Oscar, up for grabs, up for grabs.
November 2, Bravo Delta Papa.
Alpha Yankee.
Alpha Charlie 9,
Alpha
Yankee,
Yankee, Alpha Yankee, what's your line number and call sign, over?
That's Kilo Charlie 5, Charlie Alpha Yankee, and I believe I am 53, but I'm not, let me scroll down here. 43, line 43, Kilo Charlie 5, Charlie.
November Victor 4, Hotel.
Kilo Delta 0,
Charlie 3, Delta Sierra Oscar.
Ending Sierra Oscar.
Kilo Charlie 3, Delta Sierra Oscar.
Kilo Charlie 3.
Delta Echo. Shift should make it a 20 over. Can I get your park number?
Yeah, the park is Kilo 1261, 1261, QSL.
Roger, roger on 1261. Thank you, my friend, for activating 7-3.
Hey, thanks for hunting, Steve. 7-3 over there. QRZ Parks in the air, November Victor 4, Hotel.
Kilo Delta 0, Romeo Tango Zebra.
Ending Tango X-ray. Now I'm getting some splatter on top of the radar. Tango X-ray, try it again.
Tango X-ray, Tango X-ray.
Yeah, the guy with no ALC adjustment below us, he got you again. Let's try it one more time. Okay, John, got it that time. Alpha 4 Tango X-ray. You're about a 5 and 5, 55, John, here in Kentucky. QSL.
Okay, thanks for the 5 and 7 from Fox Lima, and thanks for your perseverance. 7-3 to you. QRZ Parks on the air, November Victor 4 Hotel.
Whiskey 9.
Delta 0, Romeo Tango Zebra.
Romeo Tango Zebra again.
Kilo Delta 0, Romeo Tango Zebra.
Got it. Kilo Delta 0, Radio Tango Zebra. Darwin, you're 5 and 9 plus in the park.
You are 5, 9, and plus here as well in the 30.
USL, thanks for hunting tonight. 7-3, QRZ, November Victor 4 Hotel.
Whiskey Romeo 8, Bravo Tango.
Whiskey Romeo 8, Bravo Tango, 5-9 to park, Robert.
QSL, you're 5-9 plus here into Oscar Hotel, Northwest Ohio, Tom.
USL, well, thanks for hunting us up there at 73. QRZ Parks on the air, November Victor 4 Hotel.
Whiskey 9, Mike Whiskey.
November Papa.
Whiskey 9, Mike Whiskey, 5-9 in the park, Phil.
Hey, thanks. You're almost 20 over here, Wisconsin.
USL, well, thanks for hunting us and a great report tonight. 7-3 up there. QRZ Parks on the air, November Victor 4 Hotel.
Whiskey 1, November Papa, Echo.
Ending Echo.
Whiskey 1, November Papa, Echo, QSL.
Got it. Whiskey 1, November Papa Echo. Good evening, Thomas. 5-9 in the park.
Roger, roger. Nice signal there tonight. 5-9, Massachusetts.
QSL, thanks for hunting us tonight. 73, QRZ.
November 5, Mike India Sierra.
Again. Whiskey Papa 4, Lima Golf. Good evening, Louise. 5 and 8 in the park. USL, the 56, Puerto Rico. Thanks for hunting us tonight, Louise, and 7-3.
Thank you, my friend. Have fun. Thank you for listening.
73, and thanks for hunting. QRZ Parks on the air, November Victor 4 Hotel.
Uniform Bravo.
Uniform Bravo again.
Kilo Charlie 8, Lima Uniform Bravo.
Kilo Charlie 8, Lima Uniform Bravo. Good evening, Jeremy. 5-9 plus in the park.
Hey, QSL, 5-9 Tennessee, thank you. Have a good one there, 7-3.
QSL, thanks for hunting tonight. 73, QRZ.
November Delta 4 Yankee.
November Delta 4 Yankee. Good evening, David. 5-9 in the park.
QSL 5-9 Southeastern Kentucky. Thanks for the activation.
QSL, thanks for hunting tonight. 73, QRZ.
November 5, Mike India Sierra.
Kilo Hotel Tango again.
Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Hotel Tango.
Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Hotel Tango. You're 5-9 in the park, Mike.
Thank you, sir. You are 5-9 plus in Shelby County, Alabama.
USL, thanks for Alpha Lima and the good report. 73. QRZ Parks in the air, November Victor 4 Hotel.
Quebec 4 Hotel Sierra Victor.
Is there a Bravo India? Got Whiskey 2 Sierra Bravo India. Good evening, Don. You're 5-9 in the park.
QSL the 5-9, you're 5-9 plus on Chief. Here in Northern Virginia. QSL.
QSL, thanks for hunting tonight. 73. QRZ.
November 5, Mike India Sierra.
November 5, Mike India Sierra. Joe, 5-9 plus in the park.
Got you 5-9 into Mike Sugar.
QSL, thanks for Mississippi and 73. QRZ.
Kilo Quebec 4 Hotel Sierra Victor.
Is there a Kilo Quebec 4?
Yeah, Kilo Quebec 4 Hotel Sierra Victor, Central Kentucky.
Got it. Kilo Quebec 4 Hotel Sierra Victor. Jim, you are 5'8", 58 in the park. QSL.
And you are about the same, 5'8". Good talking. Thanks a lot. Kilo Quebec 4 Hotel Sierra Victor.
Okay, Jim. Thank you so much in QSL. 73, and thanks for hunting. QRZ Parks in the air, November Victor 4 Hotel.
Kilo India 5,
Was there a Kilo America 0? Kilo America 0, Kilo Sugar Tango. Good evening, Phil. 5-9 the park.
You're absolutely 5-9 here in Nebraska. Have fun.
QSL, thanks for hunting. 73, QRZ.
Kilo 4, Mike Delta India.
Kilo 4, Mike Delta India. 5-9 in the park, Scott.
QSL, Tom, you're 5-9 in South Carolina. 7-3.
QSL, thanks for hunting tonight. 73, QRZ.
Kilo India 5,
Kilo Delta 0 Hotel Uniform Day. 5-9 the park. QSL, thanks for hunting us again tonight, 7-3 QRZ. Sending Juliet.
Kilo India 5, Sierra X-Ray Juliet.
Got it. Kilo India 5, Sierra X-Ray Juliet. Roy, you're 5 and 9 in the park.
You're 5-9 in the Northwest Arkansas, Alpha Romeo.
QSL, thanks for Alpha Romeo at 7-3 there. QRZ Parks in the air, November Victor 4 Hotel.
November 8, Uniform Charlie.
Is there an 8 call? QRZ? November 8, Uniform Charlie, 5-9 the Parkway.
5-5-9 Michigan, thanks.
QSL, thanks for hunting at 7-3 QRZ. The November 5 ending, Mike. Got it. November 5, Romeo Whiskey Mike. Good evening, Robert. You're about a 5 and 7 in the park. QSL, thanks for hunting tonight, 73 QRZ. They had to take a break for a minute, guys. This NV4H. I'll be back in a minute.
Good evening. Calling all radio amateurs. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night band exploration net. My name is John and my call is WO3X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go to net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep us updated about club happenings. This band exploration net meets every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. local time, preceded by the VHF UHF net and amateur radio Newsline at 8:01. You can find the frequency, the approximate frequency of this net on the calendar at www.cfarc.org. This week today is the third Monday, so it is on 40 meters. Okay, when checking in, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. Also, let me know if you have any comments or traffic for the net, or if you are checking in and out. I will start with announcements, and then call for officers or members who have items with further items. When all have checked in, I will repeat the announcements. After that, I'll give one last call for check-ins and then close the net. The next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will be Wednesday of next week. That's October 25th at 7:30 p.m. It will be on Zoom and also at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ in Cuyahoga Falls at 130 Broad Boulevard. The parking lot is on 2nd Street, south of Broad Boulevard. All members are encouraged to attend, whether in person or Zoom. Guests and visitors are always welcome. There will be a presentation that evening, and it will be about end-fed antennas by K1RF. That's K1 radio frequency. Okay, there was an announcement on the VHF UHF net from Russ, KD8VYT, about a tower that is available at Justine Pyle's place, or somewhere around there, or she knows where it is. It's a 50-foot tower, but it's been down for quite some time, so we don't know the condition of it. But you can call Russ, KD8VYT, by telephone to find out about it and to find out where it is. And Russ's telephone number about that is 330-524-9175. Okay, that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X asking for check-ins from any officer or member who has an item of further interest. Okay, not hearing any. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. KD8YAX. We'll go one at a time here. Go ahead, Forrest, with your comments. Okay, Forrest, thanks for your comments there. 73, and have a good evening. Okay, another check-in, please. KA8WTK. Go ahead, Bill. Okay, Bill, very good. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in.
Kilo Echo 8 Yankee Tango Golf, Steve from Stowe.
Go ahead, Stowe, with your check or with your call sign.
Kilo Echo 8 Yankee Tango Golf.
Okay, I have Yankee Tango Golf, and I have KEPU. Larry. Okay, KE8, Yankee Tango Golf. Go ahead with your comment.
Yeah, I also noticed on the VHF UHF that you're working with the N1MM. I just installed that on my system, and I'm trying to work things out on that. That's all I have for tonight. KE8YTG, back to the net, 73.
Okay, Steve. Yeah, it took a little bit to back whenever I started with that. Took a little bit to get it set up with the radio, but after that it's pretty easy, and it seems like if I go to use it for a contest, that it wants to download a new version. So I recommend downloading the new version, because the reason they do that is they found some error or whatever with the previous version. And when you download it, it also comes with a I think it's a text document that tells what why they did it, and what the problem was, or what they're fixing. So the best way to use it is to have your radio connected to the computer, and have the radio on before you start up N1MM. That way it's not looking around for the radio, and then it's saying it can't find the radio. So that's the best way to operate it, is to have the radio connected and on, and use the same port on the computer every time. Over.
Roger on that. I've done all of that, and I'm pretty excited about getting to use it here. But I did everything you did. I used the updater, also the most recent version of the N1MM. I had a little problem with it finding link, but other than that, it went pretty well. KE8YTG, over to you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, very good. Yeah, I operated the Pennsylvania QSO party on Saturday and Sunday, and it does a really good job, because especially you put in the call sign, and if you already contacted them on that band, it tells you right away that that's a duplicate, and so you just backspace it out of there and wait for another one to put in. So it really helps with that. Whereas when you do it on paper, if you have like 100 contacts, you don't really know, if that call sign is a duplicate. So you have to, look through your paper there and whatever, trying to see. So it really helps in that respect. Over.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's an affirmative on all that. I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to you, KE8YTG. Have a good night, 73.
Okay, Steve, you too, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to Larry, K8PU. Go ahead, Larry, with your comments.
Evening, John. Everybody on the net. Yeah, 2-meter net. I had company, so I went in and out. Just wanted to say sorry about Zeke. Yeah, he's been around a long time. Heck of a nice old guy. And there was a meeting, as you know, a couple weeks ago there, and we sat there and made comments. No, he wasn't feeling too good, and he had some issues, but I didn't quite expect that. But sorry to hear about Zeke. Like I said, checked into all the nets, and he was always one of the group, so he'll be missed. We've had several here the last couple of years, and they're definitely missed. So that's all I have to say. Everybody keep warm, stay safe. See it, next meeting up next week. Catch you next week on the net, John. Good job. W8GPV, KPU.
Okay, Larry. Usually Tom would be running this net, but he had a problem there at home, so he was asking for somebody to run it in his place. So I'm used to running these nets, so I just wrote him that I would do it. So that's how come I'm running it and not Tom. So thanks for checking in, Larry. 73. Have a good evening, and we'll see you next week at the meeting, and maybe hear you next Monday on the net. That will be on 80 meters next week, and the VHF UHF net on the repeater. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic asking for check-in. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Okay, I don't hear any at this time. I will repeat the announcements, and then I'll give one last call for check-in. So here are the announcements. Okay, the next meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will be on Wednesday of next week at 7:30 p.m. and it will be in person at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, 130 Broad Boulevard, Cuyahoga Falls. Get to the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street, south of Broad Boulevard. Let's see, and there will be a presentation by K1RF about end-fed antennas, and he will be on Zoom, so we will be watching it in person, and it will also be on Zoom, so if you join the meeting on Zoom, you will be able to see the presentation. And another announcement is that Justine has a 50-foot tower that she wants to get rid of, and it has been down for quite some time. So if you want information about that, like where it is and so forth, call Russ, KD8VYT, that's Kilo Delta 8 Victor Yankee Tango, at 330-524-9175, and he can provide you with information about where it is. And again, I'll repeat that number, 330-524-9175. And that's Russ, KD8VYT, who has information about where that tower is. Okay, let's see. That's all that I have in the way of announcements pertinent to this time. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic. Last call for check-in.
James 24HDW here. Joe in Raleigh, North Carolina. Can you repeat that phone number once more, please?
Okay, it's 330-524-9175. But it's probably up in the Akron area here. Akron, Ohio. Over.
Okay, copy that, Akron area. I got some pens up there. Maybe you'll be able to put an eyeball on it. Might be something I can help out with. Appreciate that, John. W8 Victor Papa Victor from 24HEW.
Thanks for checking in. Okay, yeah, that's good. That you know some people in the area there. So, okay, very good. 73 there, and have a good evening. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic. Last call for check-in.
Kilo 7 Juliet Mike Hotel.
Was that Kilo 7 Mike Hotel?
Kilowatt 7 Juliet Mike Hotel.
Oh, okay, KK7JM8. Good evening. Where are you located? We're in Cuyahoga Falls, near Akron, Ohio.
So I am all the way in Utah, just below the Idaho border. I was listening to your net and wanted to give you guys a shout out, say hello, and give you a signal report. You're about 5.5 over here. Over.
Okay, well, you're rolling in here. You're 5.9 here, 5.9.
Well, very good. I appreciate you taking a guest check-in, and I wish you guys well with your club activities. 73.
73, thanks for checking in, and have a good evening. Very good, thanks. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John WO3X at the mic. Last call for check-in. Okay, I'm not hearing any further check-ins. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. As mentioned earlier, this band exploration net meets every Monday at 9:30 p.m. Next week, the frequency will be on in 80 meters on about 3.827 megahertz. Plus or minus QRM. Please feel free to check in regularly, even if only for a moment. All comments are welcomed and valuable to us. This has been John, and my call is WO3X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net and return the frequency to normal customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:51 p.m. local time with 7 check-ins, counting myself. 7-3.
W8TJT, Whiskey 8, 2 Juicy Tomatoes, Dwight, are you in there this evening? K4HEW calling. Nothing, sir.
know, you're lucky if you have one of those in your lifetime, and that's what it's all about. And so we would talk for a long time. We talked, and again, it wasn't every day, it wasn't every week. Sometimes there was months in between, and anyway, but we kept in communication, we kept in contact. And at the end of every conversation, regardless of what the actual subject matter was that we called about in the first place, he would go into this tirade about, hey, when are you coming home? You know, you don't belong in New York. Come on, get your butt back here, blah, blah, blah. So there came the time when he started that, and I said, you know what, I think I'm coming back this weekend. It took me a half hour to convince him I wasn't lying to him, and he said two things to me. He said, okay, you're coming back this weekend, you can stay with me, and Marhofer Chevrolet is looking for salesmen, and you can get a job there. I said, man, sign me up.
And here we are. Here we are. Boy, the stars really aligned for me, let me tell you.
Well, if the truth be known, Nick, the stars definitely aligned for me too, because when I got back here, I was kind of a lost soul. I had my life. So I brought my entire life home in a 4x4 U-Haul and a '67 Chrysler New Yorker, and that was the '67 Chrysler was really, it ran pretty well, but I got I mean, we're talking 1980. So I was a little behind the eight ball there. I had nothing. I absolutely had nothing. I pawned my jewelry. I really did, so I could eat.
Oh man, my phone has bad timing. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. All this we did not know about you. And, you know, the 70 or 80 people out there are taking notes, by the way. Where was I? Man, 1980, I was in 7th grade or something. I'm just kidding. It was 10th grade, I think.
Is there much difference between 7th grade and 10th grade? I don't know. All I know is 5th grade was the best 3 years of my life. Hey, I'm going to jump out of here. My daughter called me about 10 minutes ago, and I told her to hang on because I was in conversation. She wanted to tell me something. So I'm going to let you go for the time being. I'll be back. I'm going to call her. You can take care of some phone messages, too, if you have that going on, and it certainly sounds like you do. But I'm going to call Beth and see what she needs or what she wanted to tell me, and then I'll be back on the radio. This is just way too good to quit this early. Anyway, with that, I will say 73 for now, and I'll be back in a little bit. This is AA8CS over to KD8SLG. I'm going to clear out on your final here, Nick, but I will be back shortly.
Have at it, Gary. KD8SLG, clear with AA8CS.
W8WKY.
Welcome to the K8ZFR repeater. Good evening. W8VPV. Repeater